Ayushman Bhava.
Roger. Hare Krishna World Racers, Sabine and Roger here. Let's watch Srimad Bhagavatam, Swami Mukundananda on Bhishma's lecture on Dharma.
Yeah, this should be good. So if you don't know, Sabine kind of had a crazy connection towards Bhishma. During B.R. Chopra's Mahabharat, we watched all 94 episodes, and her attachment to Bhishma remained throughout, is a little bit up and down, but in the end, absolutely loves Bhishma, and I do as well. So we're looking forward to this because we know that he gave some teachings, particularly on the bed of arrows. So we're not sure, maybe that's what this is going to be about. So we are down, and Swami Mukundananda, of course, listening to him speak is pure devotion, bliss to our ears. So we're down. If you guys are down, smash that like button. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already, because we are getting into Sanatan Dharma on this channel. Oh, and also, if anybody is interested in our full-length watch-alongs to the full B.R. Chopra Mahabharat, we're going to leave the links in the description. It's available on YouTube member section and of course Patreon for anybody diving in. And there's people joining every day still that are actually watching and commenting. If you want to join us, please do so. It's literally the only way to support us right now. So thank you so much to all of our members and patrons who have supported us thus far.
One day, Yudhishthir found Sri Krishna in meditation.
Nice.
Yudhishthir said, "My Lord, the whole world meditates upon God, meditates upon you. Whom are you meditating upon?"
Yeah.
Krishna said, "Ganga Nandan, Bhishma, is lying on the bed of arrows. He is waiting for the moment to leave his body, and he is meditating upon me. My rule is, ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one surrenders to me, I shall reciprocate accordingly." This Bhishma was actually an amazing devotee, even though he fought from the side of the Kauravas.
Yeah, totally.
He was a brahmachari. He was a satyavrati, the resolve of speaking the truth. He was the upholder of his duty towards the throne of Hastinapur.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a great devotee. He is included in the 12 Mahajans, the 12 great souls. He was a Rasik saint and used to meditate on the Braj pastimes of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna, when he would go to graze his cows and come back, the dust from the hooves of the cows would fall on Krishna, decking his body in that dust. So when Bhishma saw Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata, and all the dust from the horses, hooves, etc. was falling on Sri Krishna, he was reminded of those Braj pastimes. Somebody may say, why did Bhishma not take the side of Krishna and the Pandavas? The reason was he wanted to glorify Krishna and his devotion. So he wanted to show that even when the great Bhishma is fighting against, even then the Pandavas are invincible because Krishna is on their side. Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra 𝐒𝐰𝐚𝐦𝐢 Bhute Dhruvo Nitir Matir Mama. So to enhance the glory of Sri Krishna Bhakti, he fought on the opposing side, knowing fully well that he would be killed in battle. And finally, when the arrows struck his body, and he had so many arrows, he fell down. The arrows were so dense that his body was not touching the ground. He was lying on that bed of arrows. At that time, all he remembered was that amazing form of Sri Krishna. Vapata Pita Ki Fehran. Which form of Sri Krishna? Sri Krishna coming to him with that chariot wheel in his hand. Because Sri Krishna had resolved that he will not lift weapons in this war. And Bhishma resolved, Ajujo Harihina Shastra Gahau Taulajahu Ganga Janani Ko Shantanu Sutana Kahau Ajujo Harihina Shastra Gahau. If I don't make Krishna lift weapons today, then I am not the son of Mother Ganga and King Shantanu.
What? Wow.
So, to uphold his devotee's vow, Krishna broke his vow. And he lifted that chariot wheel in his hand and came to kill Bhishma. Bhishma started smiling. Wow, wow, wow. What a wonderful jhanki I'm seeing today. Sri Krishna stopped in his tracks, knowing that he had actually fulfilled Bhishma's wish. And that form of Sri Krishna, that angry form, Bhishma filled it in his eyes, where there is no anger. Madhuradipate rakhilam madhuram. There is only sweetness in the Lord. He is pretending to be angry just to please me. So for 6 months he meditated on that form of Krishna. So Krishna told Yudhishthira that, he is meditating on me. I am obliged to meditate upon him.
On the bed of arrows.
Yeah.
A few more days went by and Yudhishthira developed glani.
Wow.
He said he started thinking, it was my desire to be king which caused all this war. Although actually it was not. But it's the sign of a great soul. He puts the blame onto himself.
Yep.
Feels remorse, repentance. All my fault. So that Dharmaraj's avatar Yudhishthira is feeling this remorse. All these deaths, they were all because of my greed for the throne. So Krishna said, no, Yudhishthira, that's not really right.
Not quite.
Let's go and understand dharma.
Yes.
The marma of dharma, the secret of dharma. Yudhishthira said, from whom? From the biggest marmagya, the biggest knower of dharma alive. And that is Bhishma.
Bhishma.
And he is lying on the bed of arrows. Very shortly he is going to leave his body. So Yudhishthira went, Sri Krishna went, the 5 Pandavas went, Draupadi also went. Now this news spread to the sages of the universe. They all knew that great knowledge is going to be bestowed and exchanged. So the sages also started gathering there. When the Pandavas reached, so Yudhishthira and the Pandavas, they stood close to Bhishma's feet. So Bhishma could see them.
Oh God.
They offered their respects. Bhishma said, where is Krishna? Krishna said, I am close to your head, that's why you can't see me.
That was so beautiful.
Bhishma said, why don't you come in front? Krishna said, it's my nature to keep myself hidden. Nevertheless, he gave darshan to Bhishma. Bhishma said, I am feeling thirsty. Can water be arranged? He had been lying there for so many months.
I remember.
Arjun understood. Sri Krishna indicated to Arjun. Arjun shot an arrow into the ground and the water of the holy Ganga emerged. It fell on Sri Krishna, on Bhishma's mouth. In a shower, he quenched his thirst. Bhishma said, my neck is also tired. There were no arrows on the head, so the neck was hanging loose. Can I have a pillow? Arjuna again understood his meaning. A pillow worthy of a warrior. So he shot 3 arrows under his head and Bhishma got a pillow.
So amazing.
Now Yudhishthir began questioning him about dharma, the codes of conduct, and Bhishma gave an elaborate response. He explained what is the dharma according to the 4 varnas and the 4 ashrams. Brahmachari, Grihasti, Vanaprasthi, Sannyasi. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. According to your stage in life, your profession, your duties, what is it that you should do, what you should think, what are your values, what are your codes of conduct. He explained in detail. Now when Bhishma was giving this lecture, Draupadi began laughing.
Huh?
So Bhishma asked, why is Draupadi laughing? Woman from a good household doesn't laugh unnecessarily like this. What's happening to her? So Krishna said, ask her. Bhishma asked Draupadi, why are you laughing? Draupadi said, I am laughing because you have given this big lecture on dharma. Where was your dharma when I was being humiliated in the assembly of the Kauravas?
Indeed. That was...
So Bhishma admitted. He said, you know, I was eating the grains from the house of Duryodhan. They had polluted my intellect.
What?
Now because of the arrows of Arjun, the blood has drained out from my body and I am able to see clearly. So Bhishma's lecture is not detailed in the Bhagavatam, it's in great detail in the Mahabharata. And he says, Esha me sarva dharmanam dharmodhikatamo matah yad bhaktya pundarikaksham savairarche narah sada. You know the highest dharma? This Tribhangi Lal, Sri Krishna who's standing here, develop love at his lotus feet. There is no higher dharma than this. Develop love for God, this is the summum bonum of all dharmas. So finally Bhishma said, the auspicious moment for me to depart has arrived. He had this Swecha Mrityu Vardhan. He could leave his body when he wished. So he said, the auspicious moment has arrived. Oh Sri Krishna, I have a request. I have a Kumari Beti, an unmarried girl. I wish to offer her to you. I want her to accept you. Krishna said, Bhishma, you have a girl, but you are a brahmachari.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
He said, my intellect. My intellect is Kumari. My intellect has never accepted anyone except you. So I wish to offer this intellect to you because when death comes, it's going to be exceedingly painful. You know, at the time of death, the scriptures say, it's like 2,000 scorpions biting your body. Now, the mind in such intense pain may get swayed, and the mind may drag the intellect with it. So before any such thing happens, I want my intellect to be wedded to you. Sri Krishna said, done. It's a done deal.
Perfect.
He accepted Bhishma's intellect, Bhishma's surrender, and with the Supreme Lord in front of him, Bhishma, the great soul, departed from the world. And as he departed, the sages, they offered their respects. The celestial gods, they showered flowers. Krishna returned, and with the permission of the Pandavas, he departed for Dwarika. Sri Krishna sent Arjun with him, escort him to Dwarika and then come. So Arjun went with Krishna. He stayed in Dwarka for a few months.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, that was
Abrupt.
abrupt.
Wow. So bringing back some lingering memories of the whole Mahabharata experience there.
Bhishma, every
Bhishma.
time just gets me.
The Swami Ji talking about the incredible devotion of Bhishma, being a devotee of Krishna, the whole time. And being that example of doing your dharma, being a devotee, even though you're on the wrong side, and then saying it was more of an example of, okay, like I'm pretty amazing. I'm, Bhishma. I'm a great soul, right? I'm an incredible warrior. I'm a brahmacharya, right? I'm pretty exceptional, but I'm devoted to Krishna, and I'm going to show that even though I'm on the wrong side, nothing can oppose Krishna. So knowing that he will die in the battle. Yeah, an incredible example, an incredible sacrifice, and being true to his oath and his word of, supporting the throne of Hastinapur and whoever's on that throne, right? So doing his dharma to the end, even being a devotee, right? Just being a profound example of that. It was absolutely, incredible.
Well, that he was a devotee was not covered much. It was hinted at every now and then.
Yeah.
And shown. You could feel it. How much he loved Lord Krishna, but it was not like really. Or was it?
No, in the series it was
Covered.
Well, it was there, but it wasn't in like great detail. Like
Yeah,
it wouldn't
yeah.
show him, meditating on Krishna so
Yeah,
much. But we did
exactly,
hint at it and did say, like on the bed of arrows, his mind was fixated on Sri Krishna, of course. And then that led to some reflection. So I love what he talked about as when the blood drained, from his body, it was like almost a purification process there because, his intellect was very, tied, to Hastinapur in the Kauravas, right? So Dhritarashtra was like providing for him, and then you almost feel that indebtedness. So even though you're focused on Sri Krishna as God and your Lord, because of his oath and other factors, he's also indebted, to the Kauravas. Dhritarashtra. What's Dhritarashtra's son's name again?
Duryodhana?
Yeah, Duryodhana. Can't believe I forgot that.
What?
But anyways, so talking about the, the dice game, and then why Draupadi was there and then brought that up and was laughing. It's like, because so she's still harboring a little bit of resentment at that moment, understandable, of course, and then saying that, well, Bhishma, why didn't you stand up for me? And then he's basically saying that, his intellect was polluted and his mind was, unable to act appropriately in that circumstances. But then he reflects, and in the moment, prior to death, he's like, everything's coming up, his behaviors. And then, that was totally a wrong action. And he should have stood up, but, he didn't. So he's seeking redemption and forgiveness in that moment. And then talking about the intellect, being polluted. So he wants to attach his intellect to Sri Krishna, which is incredibly important, for devotees to do as well, because the intellect is very, like it's an independent quality of the mind, and we think that it's very much ours. So you need to attach that as well, to the divine, and then, offer it, right? So that even your intellect will be used, to, promote dharma and truth, righteousness, God, love, right? And then all of a sudden it's working for God instead of against it, subtly. Very beautiful. Yeah, I loved it. It brought back the images from B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata, right? When Arjun shot those arrows. Yeah, that was very beautiful in the series.
I watched a few shows throughout my life, also long shows, but I never cried. I didn't count the episodes, but it was like 5 or 6 episodes where I literally cried in a row leading up to the bed of arrows. It was crazy. The emotions you feel watching the show is just on another level.
Because it's coming from a different place, right? So we're coming into it, being devotees and believing in Sanatan Dharma and the scriptures. We're kind of more into it. We're not just watching it for entertainment, right? And we're seeing it as history, as, reality. This really did happen. So that also plays into it more than some of the other ones being more fictional, right? This is real, and you really get gripped into it, and there are behaviors, right? It's not just black and white. You know, the Pandavas did some questionable things, and the Kauravas, of course. So initially we were coming into the Mahabharata thinking that, oh, everybody's going to be the example of duty and righteousness and dharma, especially the Pandavas. And then we saw some things that, yeah, it was a really up and down roller coaster ride.
Whoa. Yeah.
So if you want to see Sabine cry,
Roger.
well, it's there. Full-length watch-alongs. It was a lot, right? If you guys know, yeah, let us know in the comments section. How was your experience watching the Mahabharata for the first time, right? So incredible. So love Swami Mukundananda talking about it.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. We got to be like Bhishma. We got to surrender even our intellect onto the Lord, right? Yeah.
Well, what else would you surrender?
Well, everything. Your heart, your mind, your soul,
But
your
isn't
body.
the intellect?
Well, the intellect is a part of that, of course, but it's still, you know, it's still thinking that it's its own entity, right? All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this lovely video. We love Swami Mukundananda, so make sure you head on over there and subscribe if you haven't already. He's got a ton of lectures, and he's the perfect example of a bhakti devotee in my mind. So learning a great deal from him. And of course, we absolutely love Bhishma. And if you do as well, remember to hit that like button and let us know what you think down in the comments. Have you surrendered everything, your intellect included? And what other important messages can be gleaned from this video? Let us know, because we're always willing to learn from you guys as we seek to raise ourselves
And raise the world. Thank you so much, everyone. We love you.
Peace.